This morning I want to share with you the geotechnical characterization of for tailings storage facility design. And we would give a small introduction, the purpose of site investigations, the stages in site investigation, methods, and then how we do the characterization and the quality control and quality assurance, and then we give conclusion. Geotechnical site investigations is a process of evaluating the geotechnical character of a site in the context of for the work that you want to do. For example, when a site for your TSF is selected based on a lot of factors, then your design engineer decides that this is the area that we want to have our TSF. Now we want to understand the area so that when you use it for your tailings storage facility, it will be able to hold it. The water that is there is not going to go out of it. And then the materials you are going to use are such that you can actually confine your tailings within the area that you have selected. It may include evaluation of the geology of the area. So before you start your going to the site, you want to first of all do a general evaluation of the area that the tailings storage facility is going to be sited. You can do that from literature. You get the literature of the area, then you read, the geology of the area, you read, the hydrology of the area, you read, and any other thing that has to do with the area, you read about it, and that is your literature review. And when you have done that, any geotechnical information, maybe there was some drilling, there was some boring, and there are some things, works that have taken place in the area, you review all those. So when you are a geotechnical engineer and you are invited to do or to carry out a site investigation, these are very, very important things that you need to know. Then after that, you want to look at in-situ assessment of geotechnical properties of the materials that you have there. And then you want to review any materials that you have in the area. You want to review the geotechnical properties so that you'll be able to use the area efficiently for your tailings storage facility. And then the purpose is also to be able to recover samples. When you do your geotechnical site investigation, the purpose is that you should be able to recover samples which you can use, test them in the laboratory, and use them to actually define the site geotechnically, so that it can be, you can assess it for your dam or your tailings storage facility. Testing of soil or rock samples to quantify properties relevant to the purpose of the investigation. So your geotechnical investigation should be that you should recover all samples, and with these samples, there must be quality samples, there must be good samples, there must be representative samples, so that they can actually give a proper description of the site where you want to have your TSF. And then you must be able to do a proper reporting of the geotechnical works that you are doing. What is the purpose of site characterization? The primary purpose of site investigations is to provide information to the dam designer. Good information, not a lot of information that has no value. So a geotechnical engineer is supposed to provide geotechnical, geological, and subsoil information to the designer, so that this result is in a state where he can use it for the design of the TSF. That is the purpose of a site investigation. And it is such that you can use it for a safe design. So your data that you are giving to the design engineer must have information that will describe the structure of the material that the dam is going to be put in. It is also said that it must describe the structure and the characteristics of the material that is going to be used to build your dam. First of all, your geotechnical information must provide information for a safe dam. What are the safety issues? The structure. Because you don't want that when your dam is constructed, it starts leaking, either at the basin or at the sites. When it's leaking at the basin, it means that you did not give your engineer, the design engineer, the proper information on the basin. So your geotechnical information must be such that you have enough and sufficient characterization of the basin where the TSF is going to be. That will also include the foundation where the embankments are going to be situated. You must be able to provide enough information on that. And then you must be able to provide enough information on the material that is going to be used in the construction. If you are going to use granular material, you must be able to give good information on the granular material, good information on your clay materials, and any other your rock field. You must be able to, the geotechnical engineer, your site investigation must be able to provide this information so that it can be used to construct a safe dam. That is structurally and environmentally. When your dam is not structurally safe, it leads to environmental problems. Another purpose is to be able to estimate with reasonable accuracy how much the dam is going to cost. A good geotechnical investigation will provide enough data, sufficient data, to be able to make an estimate of the material that is going to be required, and to be able to make an estimate of how much clearing is going to be done at the basin, how much material will be removed from the basin, bad material that will be removed from the basin, how much topsoil is going to be taken. So when you provide good geotechnical information to the design engineer, you will be able to give a reasonable cost of how much your dam is going to be. So site investigations are done by qualified engineers. I added this on purpose because some people who are not qualified engineers will attempt to do site investigations. And when you are not qualified, you don't have the requisite qualification, and you want to go and do site investigation, you get wrong information. Therefore, a site investigation must provide answers to the following. What is the thickness of the soil and what depth of overburden that must be removed to reach an acceptable foundation for the dam wall and for the tailings? I already talked about that. Your site investigation, when you are conducting it, you must be able to space your investigation method. If you are doing trial pitting, if you are doing boring, if you are doing drilling, it must be such that you would be able to completely delineate your overburden, so that we know that this is the amount of soil that is laying over your rock. And then within the overburden, you must be also be able to, this is topsoil. This is topsoil. This is residual soil, or this is the transported soil. And before you get to the rock, and when you get to the rock, you say these are your saprolites. These are your saprolites, and this is your bedrock. So your geotechnical engineering, when you are doing your characterization, you must be able to completely delineate all the zones up to your bedrock, so that when the design engineer comes, he'll be able to know that this type of material is here. This is the amount of topsoil that has removed. This is the amount of maybe residual soils. These are the amount of muddy soils or unsuitable soils that are available at this area. So the engineer will be able to design for the construction of your facility. And then also, you must be able to look at what are the physical properties, strength and informative characteristics of the different soil types. For a tailings dam, where you want to, for the basin, for example, you want to know that you are going to place tailings on top of that, the area that you are in the basin that you've earmarked. So the question is, these tailings are going to be on top of this soil. Has the soil got enough strength to carry your tailings? You're going to have an embankment. Has the soil got enough strength to carry your embankment? So as part of your site investigation, you want to provide information on the physical properties of the soil or the rock that you are dealing with, and also to provide the strength and deformability characteristics of all the different soil types that you are coming across, so that your design engineer knows that this soil has got this sort of strength, so if it's not suitable, we'll take it out. Okay? This soil is okay. This soil is very permeable. So when you put your tailings on top of it, there's likely to be what? Seepage. Then with the information, the designer will be able to know how much keying that your embankment has to key in, so that it can have the stability as well as it will cut off seepage. So this is very, very important. In every geotechnical site characterization, we want to provide this information for your design engineer. How permeable, we want to talk about permeability, and where can adequate supplies of construction material such as clay. You would also want, as part of your geotechnical investigation, you also want to look at the materials that are going to be used for construction, what we call the borrow material. Sometimes it is possible to borrow from the basin. True or false? Those who are into construction, those who have seen it, you can borrow from the basin, because normally your TSF it includes hills and valleys and all that within the whole area. So it is possible to use the material within the basin as construction material. So you want to characterize this material also in terms of their suitability for construction. So you would we will get there. And then also, you would also want to characterize the clay materials, because sometimes in an area where we are very lucky in West Africa here, that we have a lot of clay material. And in some area you don't have a clay, so you have to go around and look for it. In fact, I know there's a project up north. Within the basin area, we don't have enough clay material. So you have to go to a borrow area where we have material that has enough clay for the construction material. So we have to look at all the different types of materials that are going to be used for the construction. The granular material, the sandy material, the clay material, and even the rock material. So we have to characterize all these materials so that it can be used as input for the design of the TSM.
So we are mine in South America, and nobody can tell me what's going on. But
what are the stages in site investigation? We say there are 3 phases: to efficiently manage costs and for developing the necessary data at each stage of the approval, design, and construction of the project. Jeff was talking about the different phases in the engineering design. We have the pre-feasibility, the feasibility, and the detailed feasibility design. So in the design, in the geotechnical investigation too, we have it in stages. We have the preliminary investigation, the initial design investigation, and the final design investigation. Now, with the preliminary investigation, we provide just adequate information to justify a selection and the preliminary cost estimate for the pre-feasibility study level. So we just want to give just basic information. So that information could be visual, it could just be using your engineering judgment, you go on the site, you just by looking at it, you are able to give your engineering judgment, or maybe just one or two trial pits to get some information, which can be used for the pre-feasibility stage. Then in the initial design studies, information is to obtain regulatory approval, refine cost estimates, and then develop engineering and environmental data. In the initial design stages, because that is the information that you are going to put into, probably if you are doing your scoping report. This is the information you are going to put into your scoping report. The geotechnical information that you will put into your scoping report. So you need to get more detailed information on your soil profile. You can get that from geological data. You can get that from trial pitting. You can get that from other, preliminary auger boring or dynamic well penetrometer test. You can get preliminary information data. That will be an initial design of your TSF. And then for the final information, you need more detailed geotechnical investigation now, which will comprise all the drilling, the boring, the trial pitting, the whatever. And that will provide more detail, and that will also followed by laboratory testing. So you take the materials, now go for detailed laboratory testing. That will now provide detailed information for your TSF design. So how do you carry out the preliminary investigations? Well, to embark on a site investigation, first of all, you have to do what we call the preliminary investigation and site and reconnaissance survey, what we call the walkover survey. You walk over your whole area, you do a test study first, you do a walkover survey, and then you provide an inception report. So, practically, as a geotechnical engineer, the design engineer says, now we're going to have our TSF in this area. How do you go about doing your site investigation? First of all, you do a site characterization by doing first of all by the field work, then you do a laboratory work, and then you produce a report. Okay? Now, before you actually go to the field to commence any work, you have first of all do a desk study. I mentioned it earlier on. You do a desk study. How is the desk study done? You go to you normally do it for a mine. So the mine has got enough information. So you go for all the information that the mine has on the geology, on the soil profile. They even have people who do the soil works for them. You do the soil profile, the geology, hydrogeology, hydrology. You take all the information, the topography of the area. So you get all that information, and then you now go to the site. So you say that after you take that, you make a broad assessment of the rock types, their strengths and weaknesses, and then all the other geological characteristics that you want to know, you already had it in your desk study. And then you now go to the site and you do what we call the reconnaissance, the walkover survey. You now walk over and study all the landforms. You walk over this the site you are coming to do your site investigation. You may need to bring a drill rig to do the investigation. You may use other boring methods. So what do? You have to know where your accessibility of the site. You have to know where there are streams that you may need to cross. You have to know where there are marshy areas that you have to avoid. You have to look at where there are hills where you may need to climb. So you do what we call a walkover survey. You go over your whole area, you walk around, you look at the landforms, there's a hill here, there's a rock here, and then try to use your your GPS to pick certain features that might help you in planning the layout of your site investigation. Take a tape as an engineer, take a tape where you need to measure maybe the weight of this string, the weight of this bulk. There's a machine area here. You want to assess how big, how wide it is. So you do all those in your reconnaissance survey. Then when you have done that, normally we will do what we call provide an inception report. The inception report shows your appreciation of the project. How much is involved? What work you have to do. In fact, it's normally at this stage that the geotechnical engineer will be able to now provide a cost of how much the whole exercise will take. Sometimes, not only for tailings dams, but for anywhere, you say, oh, go and put 2 holes for me. I'm going to put a 10-story structure. Go and put 2 holes for me. Or give me an estimate. And then you are an engineer, you're a geotechnical engineer, and you just get up 2 holes. No, it's not enough. You don't have any information. You might end up saying that you may need maybe 3 holes, 5 holes, and in any case, 2 holes cannot give you any information anyway. But it happens all the time. So it's normally after you have done a reconnaissance survey and you have looked at the site and you have seen what are the characteristics of the site, how accessible the site is, before you can now provide a cost of how much the exercise will take. So it's at this stage that you will now have provided a cost, and then you provide an inception report which shows an appreciation of the project itself and what quantity or what amount of work that you need to do. Now, site integration plan is developed based on client's brief and designer's scope definition. So, and the purpose is that we will want to minimize costs to stay relevant. If your cost is always high, you will always lose your jobs. So in the initial design, we would want to do some few borings, some test pits, do a bit of sampling, do lab tests, index properties, and penetration tests. And then this level of data, like I said, is good for permitting. This level of data is good for permitting. Your initial design, investigation, a few trial pits, one here, one there, that will help you to actually connect the different soil types. That will provide an initial characterization of the soils, whether they are clay sands, they are silty sands, sandy clay, and whatever. That will give you an initial indication of the permeability of the basin. That will provide the maximum dry density and the optimum moisture content of your construction material. This information normally will go into your EIA when you are describing describing your project in the EIA. This information is good and acceptable for permitting purposes, and also based on that initial work, we'll be able to refine the cost of the site investigation. Probably if with that, a few borings here and there interspaced with trial pits, you will now come and say that, okay, instead of this number of maybe drilling maybe to 30, 40, 50 meters, maybe we'll go 20 meters. Maybe instead of this number of percussion drilling, or this number of rotary drilling, maybe we'll take out some rotary drilling and then do percussion drilling. I know rotary drilling is more expensive than percussion drilling. So at this stage, we will refine the cost will provide enough data that you can give to your put for your designer. For the detailed site investigations, these are necessary for the detailed design of your tailings storage facility. And these must be done methodically, meticulously, and precisely, and targeted. At this stage, the design engineer and the geotechnical engineer have agreed on the number of trial pits, have agreed on the methodology for your site investigation. Is this clear? At this stage, when you are going for the detailed work, the design engineer, you the geotechnical engineer, and some large extent the client are now all in agreement. After all, the client is going to pay the money, so he must be put in the picture so that he will also agree. And he will understand. Sometimes the client doesn't understand. So at this stage, he would have understood that you need this number of this method and this quantity and this level of site investigation. So details of site investigation include deep and shallow borings. So depending on the agreement that you have, some of the boreholes that you drill can go as deep as 40 meters. Depending on the rock type, depending on the structures that are in the rocks, depending on the water that you are encountering, the design engineer would want to maybe monitor the movement of the water up and down in your TSF. So that maybe when you do a deep hole, they will install a piezometer. And the piezometer will be able to tell you the rise and fall of water. Because the rise and fall of water in your basin will determine the type of drainage system that you would apply or that you will install. So depending on the geology, the structural geology and the rock types and whatever, deep drilling using rotary rigs could be applied. And then these holes, some of them, depending on the works, they could be used as monitoring boreholes. Before even the construction, that we use as monitoring boreholes, even to monitor if there's a facility or there's something there and there's suspicion that the water is moving in a particular direction and there's material transport, we could use it to monitor the quality of water coming from a certain area. So it will be part of the monitoring system within environmental monitoring system within your mine catchment. And then we have percussion drilling. Percussion drilling normally is done within the soil horizon. And in that, with the percussion drilling, it uses only a gravity method. Some of you, next I'll show some pictures. Just use gravity methods, and then you drill. You bore up to the bedrock, and then you can get a lot of information from that. And then also we could use. Some also use RC wash borings. So all these are possible. Then we use trial pits. Trial pits. Trial pits are for soil investigation. Trial pits are a very, very good and efficient method of profiling soil. Because with the trial pits, you can actually see what is there. When you excavate your trial pit, either with a backhoe or with a manual, sometimes people can do it manually, and you are able to go 3 meters. I mean, it's just like if you go 3 meters, it's like a well, a hand-dug well. And when you go inside the hand-dug well, you can actually see the layers, isn't it? You see the layers of the soil. So trial pits are very, very important for classifying soils, or trenches, open cuts, and all those things. That was used probably in the exploration stage. If they are still available, they are all useful methods of providing information. Then, while executing your rotary drilling or your percussion drilling, you will also be able to do what we call in situ strength test. What are in situ strength tests? You want to test the strength of the soil or the rock. You want to be able to determine the strength of the soil as it is in place. So we have what we call the standard penetration test. Okay, the standard penetration test is done with either the rotary rig or the percussion rig. Now, it is just using a split screw sampler and then hammering it, and it will enter into the soil. And that end value is very, 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 very important in determining the strength of your soil. So, as part of your site investigation, you want to determine the strength of your soil, and this is normally done either every 1.5 meters, 2 meter intervals, 1 meter interval. You carry out this test to be able to determine the strength of the soil up to the bedrock. Then we have another equipment called the dynamic code penetration test. We have a penetration test and we have a dynamic code penetration. We have a test, and this also is also used for determining the strength of the soil in situ. Then also we will want to determine the permeability of the basin, because as we said, we're going to store these tailings in the basin, in a certain area, and most tailings that we're dealing with has substances that we don't want to go into the environment through the water, because tailings are normally transported as slime and deposited as slimes. So we want to know the permeability of the surface. So we carry out what we call the falling head test in your holes. When you drill the hole, you can carry out the falling head test inside the borehole, or we have what we call the gulf permeability test, or we have the double ring infiltrometer test. Double ring infiltrometer test is normally used for when you do clay lining. When you do your clay liner, and you want to look at how the water is penetrating the soil. If you use a double ring infiltrometer, you'll be able to get all the information. Then in your site investigation, you want to take samples. You have bulk samples, undisturbed samples, disturbed samples, small samples, water samples, whatever. Anything that you come across, you sample. When you are doing site investigation, anything you come across, you take a sample. And you take the sample, for example, if you are within soil, you want to take the sample every meter. Every meter, you take a soil. But when within that 1 meter, your soil type changes, because as you excavate or as you drill your borehole, you want all every material that is coming, you log it. The borehole is logged. You write the material you see, you describe it according to either the BS 5930 method, right? Or AS. No, we use BS 5930. So please, let's take the BS system. Then we take the samples, and then I just mentioned that sometimes we will need to install monitoring systems like geometers or boreholes to monitor the water levels in your basin. And particularly along the proposed center line of your embankments, is very, very, very important that in your investigation you pay particular attention to that, because the embankment is going to come right there. So you want to know what type of material your embankment is going to sit on. You want to know the permeability of that material and the strength of that material, so that in the design, all these things should be taken account of. This level of data is good for the final design, and it's good for preparing the operation manual, and it's good for construction and the final engineer's estimate. Now, after you have done that level of investigation, what do? You take the material that you have recovered. And at this stage, as I said, at this stage, you, the geotechnical engineer, the design engineer, and the client are aware of the type and the quantity of samples that are going to be taken and the type of tests that are going to be performed on the samples and the cost of the testing. So all this, when you take the samples, you take it to the laboratory, you do direct shear test, we do direct shear test, unconfined and triaxial testing, sliding friction, modular flexing. I mean, first of all, you do the strength of the material, okay? You do the strength of the material, strength and deformability. Strength because the material is going to what? You are going to put tailings on top of it, so you have to estimate its strength. Deformability because it can deform, it can settle. If you put the tailings on it, it can settle. It can either fail by shear, or it can settle, it can consolidate. And when it consolidates, it can affect your environment, it can affect your tailings. So you are testing and decide that you can capture the strength and deformability of your material, or a mechanical property, so to speak. So you will do all these tests. The first one, direct shear test and all those things. And we sometimes, when you recover all your cores, sometimes we will also require that we do some tests on the cores, like the UCS. That will give you a good information on the strength of your of the foundation rocks that are there. And then for the soil, we do what we call the index properties, the gradient artifacts, all those things. These are to help to tell you what type of soil that you have.
And so today, we share
less frequently we do all these other tests, but we don't normally do them that much. But permeability is very, very important. Permeability soils is very, very important because you are going to use these materials like the bottom material. You want to do the laboratory and the laboratory permeability test because your zone A material, that's the clay material, is going to lie directly adjacent to the tailings. So there's possibility of seepage. So you want to quickly look at that one. Then the chemical composition of the water and the rocks, you would want to do that. And then in addition, the fraction potential may need some evaluation so that you have to completely characterize your site for the design. Then, when you are done, you want to prepare a report. We have what we call the factual report. Tell it as it is. And then we have what we call the interpretative report. That gives conclusions on the site, and then it provides your interpretation of the data as a geotechnical engineer. A factual report, you just tell it as it is. You write the report. This soil was this was that, this was that, the C was this, phi is this, gamma is this, your foreign help permeability is this, your institute permeability. You understand what I'm saying? As it is, that's a factual report. The interpretative report, you now give an interpretation to the data that you have developed. So, notwithstanding, a geotechnical engineering report must have a description, objectives, site identification and description, and then you describe the methods that you used, and then the investigation that was carried out, the tests that were done, and then you would add allocation and reduction levels of all the boreholes that you have done. You would provide all the information on the borehole, that the color elevation is this, they were done to this depth, the water was encountered at this depth, this type of formation was at this depth, and that. What we call, if the soil, you do the soil logs. So you do for the whole borehole, you do the borehole logs from soil to rock. If you drill up the rock, you do the borehole log. The log will tell you at this level you had clay sand or silty sand or sandy clay, and then so on and so forth. Your topsoil was this amount, and so on and so forth. And then you record the time, and then you provide the data that was obtained. Then for your construction material, I was almost mixing them. But for the construction materials, it's very, very important that, because this is the material that we are going to use in the construction of your TSF. For example, soil. You're going to use the soil for your construction. And then it is important that you get the optimal strength of this soil. And this is done by what we call the compaction test. So you take the soil, and then you take from your borrow area. I said sometimes you take it from the basin, or you go to a site that has been earmarked by the designer and by the client that this is an area that we can use for borrow material. You take that material, you take it in the laboratory, you test it. That normally you take it just by the same way we do it. You go by tri pits. You take it, and then you go and then you do compaction, and we use proctor compaction. You compact, you determine the moisture density relationship, what we call the compaction curve. And this information, you will derive the maximum dry density and the optimum moisture content. And this information is very necessary for the construction, because when you start construction of your TSF, this information will inform on the level of compaction that is done in the field. Are we together? Good. So you would take that material from the borrow area, either from within the basin or from a dedicated borrow areas. Take that material, and then we conduct these tests. And then, because it is going to be used for construction of the embankment, you would also want to know its permeability characteristics. Why? Because it's going to contain the tailings, and the tailings contain water. So it might, seepage might pass through. So you want to also look at this, you characterize it to know that it has the material you want, and then you determine the permeability. And then you would also determine its cohesion, friction angle, and its unit weight, because you need these parameters to calculate the stability of your facility. You would also want to, so you take these materials and then you do these characteristics so that it can be used to the and then also other materials like the run-of-mine waste rock is also used for construction material. And then we have granular materials from the quarries, ROM waste rock, which is also used as filter material. And then in some jurisdictions, it is permitted to use cyclone tailings as construction material. The reliability of a TSF design depends on the quality of data derived from the SI. If you go to the field and you see a clayey sand, and you say it's a sandy clay, you have misled them. Are we together? So have an eye for detail. So the reliability of the TSF design depends on the quality of data derived from the SI. So that's why at the beginning Jeff said we want good data, not necessarily voluminous. You drill, you're just perforating the ground for nothing. The integrity, that the structural and environment integrity of the TSF depends on the quality of the materials used, which was established through material testing. and the cost of the design and construction of TSF is partly defined by the level and accuracy of the site investigation. An efficient site characterization is the basis for successful TSF life cycle. And with that, thank you so much.